Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Full-On, your Fulham-centric football podcast. I am today's host, Average Jack, aka AJ, and I am joined by the ever more attractive Mozza and the better of the Jacks here today. Just the two of us, unfortunately, but you're going to have to put up with it. And just for that, don't forget to subscribe. Mozza, I'm going to pose you the question that my friend Ash always poses me. We're facing Man City midweek game. What do you think is our potential lineup? Are we going to see the likes of Bob starting against his former club?
Well, I don't want to skip to the end straight away, but when we do our ones to watch, our players to watch for Fulham, would it be amiss of me to state the obvious and say it would be him? I think we will see him. Will he start? I'd be very surprised, given the fact that he came on in the 83rd minute in his Fulham debut at the last game against Everton, and then we conceded the winning goal within 20 seconds of him coming on the pitch. It's historic, not for the right reasons, but I would be surprised if he starts. I think we'll see him come on sort of in the second half when Marco decides to do his super subs. But yeah,
62nd minute, of course.
yeah. Hopefully it's a bit earlier, but we'll have to just see how the game is going by then. But yeah, you could probably bet your bottom dollar on it that it will be around that time period.
Tremendous. And for the rest of the lineup, do you think we'll see many changes?
I hope, given Castagne's performance after the last game, we'll be seeing Tete. I think we'll have Bassi back in the back four as well. So yeah, Well, I was going to ask you, are we going to be seeing Robinson in the starting lineup? Do you reckon, or Sessegnon at left back?
I think it's a very interesting one. We might see Cess, but we might see him in the nature of a five at the back with him as a left fullback, left wing back, because this is the sort of game, City away, where we have a tendency to go slightly more defensive and to try and sit on our laurels and play counter-attacking football, which has a tendency of working for us. And I don't think we're going to want a game as open as we had at the Cottage, especially not defensively. So potentially we could see a return to the back five. I think the only thing that's guaranteed is Iwobi will play.
Yeah, I mean him. Yeah, I was going to move on to the midfield as well. Yeah, what we're looking at, you think Iwobi and Berge? I mean, I got a feeling it's obvious Jimenez is going to be up front.
Don't know. Muniz is back, and we could start to see him play, especially if we're trying to play slightly more counter-attacking football. Whether or not he's fit enough to play the starting minutes of this game and play like the majority 60, 70 minutes before being replaced by Muniz, I'm not entirely sure. In saying that, JSA played in the Man City fixture, the reverse fixture, and was quite impressive in that game. So maybe it's a big opportunity for him to get some minutes too. With that in mind, and looking at Man City, we've got to look at the serious threat that they impose on us, especially away from home. Do you think this game's just a bit of a runaway, or do we actually have a chance in hell?
I think we've got a chance in hell. I mean, given the form that they've had this season, I mean, it's not your usual expected bar for Man City, and I think most of the fans and supporters, maybe Pep would even say that himself if he hasn't done already. And if he is definitely going at the end of the season, if not sooner, whether he's even given his marching orders, so it won't happen. But yeah, I think like we have got a chance. I don't think we really ever give them the worst game. There's been fixtures in the last few seasons, I think, where we've been unlucky. I mean, we look at the home fixture as well. That was just the other side of before Christmas. Bit of a comeback. Yes, a lot. What was it? A 9-goal thriller, that 5-4.
Beautiful game.
Yeah, I mean, and the football that we played in that was good. My point is, yeah, we might. I can't remember the last time we won against them. It was a long time ago, but yeah, we might not have always gotten a
before they had money.
Yeah, might not have always gotten 3 points results out of them in that sense, but I think we do have good games against them. So I'm going into it quietly confident. But of course, yeah, look, it's Man City. By no means do I or anyone else, any other Fulham fan, expect to win this. But I think we're definitely worthy of getting a point out of it, a draw, if we play well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game because this particular fixture at this particular time normally would just be a bit of a nothing game for the rest of the league. But right now, you've got absolutely everyone hoping we lose, apart from Arsenal fans. And that's a strange position to be in because we don't normally want to be backed by the worst fans on the internet. And yes, I will say loud and proud. So
Your word's not mine.
yeah, it puts us in a bit of a precarious position, and I wonder what impact that will have on the players, if any, as well as having what mentality they'll get from the reverse fixture, the fact that this is away from home against Man City, you're not expecting much from it. We've said the same in a lot of big games this season already and come away with results, and maybe that's just what we need, the pressure to be off. It's a strange one. It definitely is. With that in mind, I suppose we've got to speak a little bit more into our approach to the recent couple of games and whether or not we expect to see similar going into this game. We were poor in both of our last two defeats and arguably poor in our win in our win prior to that as well. What do you think of our current form at the moment? Is it just a slight dip, or is it something that has been tailing off and to be expected, and we're now going to see an unfortunate patch of bad form like we had this time last year?
Well, the thing is, mate, I mean, we were all pretty much panicking, very worried when we were losing three of our players. The boys went to play for Nigeria in AFCON. And over that period, we got results that, shocked us, a couple of snatch and grabs. Since they've come back, and this is not me blaming it on Bassi, Chukwueze or Iwobi in any way. This isn't my point. But since they've come back, you would have thought, great, we've been on that run of form. Now it's just going to get even better. And we've had some absolutely woeful football. If we're just looking at, we've done the Everton review, so I won't go over it all again. Yeah, so it's an odd one, really. On paper, you would have thought we would have gotten a steal against Everton. And I say that term again, on paper, we think that we won't get anything out of Man City. I find, for whatever rhyme or reason, we seem to perform a bit all right or a bit better when we've had some dodgy performances, when we go to a top six club away. So again, I say I'm quietly confident, but it depends how stubborn Marco wants to be. You mentioned earlier about Muniz being back. I'd be up for him starting. Whether he's match fit to start, I don't know. But if he's fit enough to come on as a sub as he did in the last game, then why not? Jimenez needs a rest, like big time, man. I'm not so sure about JSA. You mentioned I don't even. I'll be surprised if we see him, make any sort of appearances again for the rest of the season. Yeah, mate. I mean, it's one of those, and it's almost like a nothing saying me saying this, right? It could go one way or the other. Yeah,
Such is the way of Premier League football.
Exactly. We've just got to have our wits about us, and I think we've got to go there and take the fight to them. And you look at the table where we are now. We've had some unexpected points, unexpected wins, as I was saying, but it is still, I don't think we're going to be in a relegation battle. Never say never, but it's still very tight between. I'm looking at it right now, which is why I avert my eyes. So we're in 11th place, 34 points. Bournemouth just behind us on goal difference, and then above us you've got Sunderland, Newcastle, Brentford. Not quite in that order, but the odd win or loss can make all the difference there. I don't think we're in danger of falling, down to 16th at any point.
No, it's definitely a mid-table affair, and I think it's very crucial what you mentioned there in terms of Jimenez at the moment, especially considering that there's been breaking news, granted from Mexican sources, to take it from a pinch of salt, that we won't be renewing his contract in the summer and we'll be letting him go on a free. There's been lots of links with him over to the MLS and to Mexico and to Brazil. So do you think that could impact the amount of playing time that will remain, especially considering that Mexico are considered one of the hosting countries of the World Cup, and he's very likely to be in their squads. Do we
Mm.
now start to see Muniz and JSA get more minutes because Jimenez won't be with us in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, I'd hope so. It would make sense if Jimenez did go at the end, and then he went to have his retirement closer to home. So and I don't think anyone would hold that against him. And bless him, as we say every week, and he works his socks off. His work rate, he's up and down the pitch, but he does look fatigued. But that's because he's for a majority of this season been our only fit striker. Um, yeah, I mean, we all sing from the same hymn sheet. You and I, Drew and Ash, usually when we're together, saying that we want to see more of the youth push through, like the young bloods. Um, yeah, so again, I'd rather have Muniz start. Um, with the World Cup incoming, I've said this about Robinson. I'm not sure if I've said it on air, but I've certainly said it to you boys in our chat, peek behind the curtains, um, where Robinson's been injured and not had like a lot of starts, a lot of games for us. I feel like he hasn't quite come back into the first team like as the player he once was. And this is only me speculating, and it's not a conspiracy or anything, and not a dig at him. I wonder if he is playing with a sense of trepidation ahead of the World Cup in case he were to get injured, being part of the US squad. Maybe there's a touch of that in Jimenez's mindset at the moment, which it could impact the play. But that aside, that fella does need a rest.
Absolutely, I think we can all agree on that much. Outside of Jimenez, I think it now's a good time to talk about sort of our options against this Man City side and what our danger men will be, and a good opportunity to discuss Man City's danger men as well. So let's, as we always do, discuss our players to watch. Me personally, as you mentioned, I think Oscar Bob's going to be a very important one to watch in terms of knowing Man City's style and system and being in and
Yeah.
around them and knowing essentially the weaknesses, even if it's that passing of knowledge from him to other players on the pitch. It's whether or not we can utilize that and whether or not Oscar Bob has enough information to actually be of benefit to the rest of the squad. But inside of that, I think this is a big game for the likes of Chakweze, who will be wanting and desperately aiming to get in behind that Man City defence as they play a very high line. Um, as for Man City, you could pick any player from their starting squad down to the newest recruits in their academy, and they'd probably all be dangerous to
Mm-hmm.
us. But Donnarumma's in such good form at the moment, and we're really struggling to produce any clear goal scoring opportunities that we could use to actually beat a keeper of that caliber. So I think Donnarumma is probably one to watch just because I don't think we can beat him in our current form. What about yourself? Who would you pick in this instance?
Yeah, I mean, if we're even as lucky to get a shot off, whether it be on target or not, yeah, I agree with you about Donnarumma. I mean, and what you just said about Jaquazi, I think, yeah, you pick any Man City player. Bernardo Silva's usually a massive threat to us. He performs very well against us for whatever reason, and I would be also worried about Semenyo on the right hand side, whether it is as in facing our way against Tete. Or even a Castagna, either one of those fellas, whoever starts in the defensive position, will have to deal with Semenyo. And oh shit, oh yeah, there's Erling Haaland as well. So as much as you say, keep an eye
Marmoush,
on
Foden.
yeah, yeah. I
Keep
think
going.
yeah, we've had concerns about Bern Leno, especially after the last performance. And we don't know what Ash's answer would be at the moment, but we both know that he's very concerned about Mr. Papadopoulos, as he call him. So I think you're only as good as your defence, your back four, yada yada yada. But I would be looking at Leno's form to see how consistent he is, because he just we've seen games recently where he'll make a world class save and then he'll let in goals that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be who I'd keep my eye on. Obviously, Oscar Bob. Let's see. I don't feel like, as I say, the 7 minutes or plus or 10 minutes that he came on for his debut last time was enough to even get a
Yeah.
gauge of what he will be like. But yeah, well, would be great to see him come on and play too.
Great, and as we always do, let's discuss the thing I've been putting off as for as long as possible, the score predictions. I will lead on this, just because I'm being brave. Um, oh, the positive side of me wants to say this be a Desmond, a 2-2.
Yep.
My brain says that's beyond stupid, and this is going to be 4-0 Man City. And
Yeah.
put us to the sword. So it's a really tough one. I'm not willing to make any bets or wagers on Fulham getting a result out of this for obvious reasons, as the last time I did
Yep.
this against high end league opposition. But I absolutely don't think we'll fare well in this game away from home on our current form, and I beg Fulham to prove me wrong. What about yourself, Mozza?
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I had a Desmond in my head as well. So I'll take that one for you if you like. I'm not going to make a bet that I will appear in the next episode in my pants or whatever, if I'm proven right. But yeah, 2-2. However, I can absolutely see it being a 4-0 annihilation. I don't expect to win, but I'm going to remain optimistic and hope that we can get a point and somehow 2 goals to match their 2, if that happens.
Fingers crossed indeed. And with that in mind, I will remind everyone to please like and subscribe. We are getting very close to more recent goals of 250 subscribers, and the more you can push and the more you can share and the more you can like and the more you can engage with us and talk to us in the comments. If we're waffling and chatting nonsense, let us know. If you want to hear more from us about specific topics, let us know, and please like and subscribe. But I don't think there's much more else to say other than come on, you whites.